Welcome back to Behind the Lines. We're talking about Major Dick Winters. Joining Rebecca and myself, we have Bill Jackson. You are a retired editor of the Hummelstown Sun. Thanks for being with us today. And how did you know Dick?
Well, Dick was a subscriber to the paper. And, you know, in his career that brought him to Hershey, he worked on trying to make some kind of animal feed, cattle feed, out of the byproducts of the Hershey products, you know, the cocoa bean shells and things. And anyway, I knew him when he was Dick Winters' feed dealer.
Oh, okay.
And we met first at some event in Hershey. I don't even remember what it was, but he was very interested in what went on in the community. And he came up to me and he said, "We have to start having breakfast together." He says, "You know where all the bodies are buried." So we did start to do that, and this was long before Band of Brothers came out. This was back in the 80s. And we would just maybe once a month, something like that, have breakfast together in his favorite little coffee shop, and we would talk about what was going on in Hershey. And of course, then when the book came out, he sent me a copy in the mail with a little note. You know, "Dear Bill, I don't know if you think this is worth mentioning, but I'm mentioned in this book." And of course, our friendship grew from there, because when he started being asked to come speak at various places, Dick never made a big deal out of it, but he was at the early stages of Parkinson's disease and wasn't driving that much. And so, you know, myself and Bob Hoffman, who you interviewed before, and at the time, retired Command Sergeant Major Herm Clemens at 28th Division from Pine Grove, Dick would get a speaking engagement, and he would call until he had one of the three of us that could go with him.
Right.
So that was when the friendship blossomed. Yeah. And I had kind of a unique relationship in that I lost my father in World War II, and I found his reunion group and joined it and edited their newspaper for 20 years, the 104th Infantry Division. And knowing a lot of history about World War II, you know, I could pop over at the house and we'd just sit and talk about the war. Wow. And I think the fact that I lost my father, he kind of identified with that. He would have been roughly the same age as my dad. So.
Rebecca, tell us about the memorial, the brick, and why.
So one of the stipulations that Dick Winters made when they were putting the monument up in Normandy was that it be a monument to all leaders. And we came up with a way to really make that embodied and very clear and obvious in our Memorial Plaza. And so what we're doing is creating a Veterans Plaza. And people have the opportunity to buy bricks in honor of their own service, the service of a family member or a friend. And again, it helps us to be able to tell those stories of all the folks that have fought for us through all wars, not just World War II. In this case, it happens to be a local Ephrata person who bought that brick in honor of his father's service. But it's nice to be able to do that. I think it isn't just a word, Winters Leadership Memorial. It really, what we're planning to build in Ephrata will truly be that. It will honor all veterans from all wars and all leaders that can inspire us.
Yeah. What do you think everybody would think about this? Like what Rebecca was talking about. This is a really good thing.
Oh yes, and I think Dick would have been happy with it too. He was always very ready to involve himself in anything that would honor veterans, not honor him, but honor veterans, and not just of World War II, but of all wars. And his attitude, I think, was expressed. One of the quotes that he used in one of his interviews, and it wasn't his quote, but it was quoted by someone else, but apparently a grandson had asked Grandpa, "Were you a hero?" And the response was, no, but I served in a company of heroes.
Wow.
And, you know, that was kind of Dick's attitude all the way through. The statue at Utah Beach in Normandy, as Rebecca mentioned, he favored it as long as it honored not him, but all of the young officers and young non-commissioned officers who stepped up on D-Day when their commanders were either killed or wounded, and expressed leadership, because that was what he was all about. I know Ambrose, I think at one point told Dick, you know, if you're going to talk about anything about your service in World War II or that service, is talk about leadership. And of course that's what he did. He spoke at West Point, he spoke to the FBI Academy, and his topic was leadership.
One of the things that I learned along the way is that I think Dick recognized that he could leverage his celebrity to help bring attention to others and help others. And he did that, and the way I learned it was someone came up to me and said, you know, Dick Winters had some private labeled coffee back when he was alive. Apparently you could buy Dick Winters roasted coffee. It was sold in grocery stores and shops in Hershey in the area, and 100% of the proceeds went to the Lebanon VA.
Wow.
And so that to me sort of spoke volumes of the type of man he was, and that again, he wasn't interested in the celebrity, but he was interested in helping others and using that to tell the story and to help other people.
It makes such a difference to have these people who have known Dick come here and talk about him, because so most of us have seen the movie and we might have read, you know, one of the books as well, but this brings it to life and really gives us a deeper understanding how important his role was then and now in speaking to future generations. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Very happy to do it, Diane.
And for shedding some insight. We'll put a website up on the screen if you'd like to find out more information. And we'd like to say thank you for being here. Thank you to our other guests. I'm Diane Dayton with Behind the Lines. And remember, keep looking behind the lines. You might be surprised what you find.